I cannot respect is a deceptive bitch, a crook, a swindler. When that whore.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Rants with Jordan. I'm Jordan. Welcome. Originally, I was going to make this video a video about why... No, I'm going to do it. We are going to just jump into this video. We're going to get right into the nitty-gritty. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so I'm sorry. I know I say this in every video, but, like, y'all still watch. Thank you. But I want to know, I have a question to ask. What is up with y'all and, like, hating children? And let me clarify myself, because I have to clarify myself so many times when I ask this question. To the people who simply just don't want kids, like they just don't want to be bothered with kids, like they're fine being like the rich auntie or the rich uncle, or like they just don't want to be around kids. Kids are not their cup of tea. This is not a video for you. You are fine. Not wanting to have kids is your choice, and that is totally okay. I don't want anyone to think that I am bashing anybody for not wanting to have kids. That's not who I'm talking to. Y'all are good. Y'all simply just don't want kids. That is fine. I support you in not having kids. Like, okay, like, no, not everyone has to have a child. But the people who I am talking to are you nasty bitches on Twitter. I'm saying bitches, but like, I don't mean like women. I mean like everybody. Everyone's a bitch. But you nasty bitches on Twitter. And y'all are just fantasizing about how you're going to beat your future kids. Ooh. And about how if your kid was to like spill over some apple juice, you're going to smack them across the face. So I want to know, why do y'all hate kids so much? Or I guess the better question is, why do y'all not respect children? And I want you all to like really sit with that question. Why do y'all not respect children? Because even when I was a child and even now as an adult, I believe that like children deserve respect. And children deserve to have boundaries. And as a parent, you're going to have to break some boundaries in order to make sure your child is alive. Like, I understand that. In order to make sure your child is safe. Like, I understand you have to, like, break some boundaries and fuck the respect thing to make sure your child is safe. I understand that. There are situations where that's, like, okay. You're trying to make sure your child is okay. But for you nasty, nasty bitches and niggas on Twitter who are just fantasizing about beating your kids, I want to know, like, why. Or you go online talking about how you beat your child. And y'all can call me all the names in the book. I don't care. I do not believe in hitting kids. I really don't. I'm so sorry. I just don't believe in hitting kids. Okay. The only time I think it's acceptable to, like, hit, and I'm saying hit in quotation marks, hit a child, is if that child is in immediate danger and you need them to stop. Like, if your child is going to touch a flame, pop them on the hand. And then explain why you don't touch the flame. Like, I understand that. But, like, no, y'all are talking about, like, beating your kids. Like, you and your kids are in an MMA fight. Like, what the hell's going on? And part of this has to deal with, like, how a lot of you all, could have happened to me too. A lot of you all were given no respect as a child. Your parents gave you no respect. Your parents did not respect you at all. Your parents did not respect your boundaries at all. And now you're either taking it out on your child, or you have the mentality of, I had to go through this, or my child has to go through it too. And y'all keep talking about how beating your kids helps your children behave, when, like, every psychology study in the world has said the exact opposite. And I'm so sorry, but, like, I think I'm going to believe the person who spent 20 years in school studying the brain of a child and how the brain of a child develops, I think I'm going to trust them. I think I'm going to trust the person who has a degree in child psychology and child behavioral science. I think I'm going to trust them over Deborah and Blake from Alabama. I'm so sorry. No, I'm not, but I'm so sorry. Like, I think I'm going to believe the people who have the degree and who've done the research and have put in the time and the effort to, like, look and see what that shit does to a child's mind. I think I'm going to believe them. Would you look at that? I choose to believe professionals. Because just because you're a parent does not mean you're a professional at, like, child behavioral studies. That doesn't mean you're a professional at your child's behavior. That doesn't mean you're a professional at your child's psychology. Being a parent does not make you a professional in those areas. Or in the school getting a degree. And putting in the time and the research to get a degree makes you an expert on that shit. But I digress. Y'all have no respect for kids, and I don't understand why. I know I keep asking that, but I just don't understand why. It is like it comes, and I guess the reason why I titled the I don't know if I'm going to title the video or not, but I think the reason why I originally wanted to title the video "Why Do Y'all Hate Kids" is because it comes across as that y'all just don't like kids. And let's talk about it. Part of the reason why some of y'all do not like your kids is because y'all never wanted kids in the first place. But society or some kind of traumatic event that we're not getting into right now, you have a kid, or someone pressured you to have a kid, your family pressured you to have a kid, and you don't want a kid, you never wanted a kid, or you didn't want a kid at that point, and now you blame the kid for just fucking up your life, and you resent them. And it just makes no sense to me. So I'm calling out you all, but also a lot of adults, and I've noticed this specifically with teachers, a lot of adults have they get some sort of weird, like, power trip when it comes to, like, bossing around children. Like, that I was raised under the mentality that children should be seen and not heard, and I absolutely despise that way of thinking. Because that fosters such a dangerous environment for your child. It just does. That fosters such a dangerous environment for your child. Excuse me. I know that's Dasani, but that's the biggest water bottle they gave us on campus in the store. So I might have a stroke in the video. I don't know. Whoa. Anyway, Dasani, but y'all have a weird power trip over kids, and I just want to know why. It's weird. And y'all think kids should be seen and not heard, and that's also weird. And then you wonder why your child is off their fucking rocker the moment they get older, the moment they get some kind of freedom. And you wonder why your child goes off to college, graduates, and never talks to you again. And the moment you're too old to take care of yourself, your ass is in a nursing home. Because the mentality of children should be seen and not heard makes a lot of kids hate their parents. And luckily, some of you all are lucky that your kids still love you enough to where once you cannot take care of yourself, they're going to open their homes up to you. And I'm here to tell y'all that y'all don't deserve it. But those are your kids, you're their parent, and they love you. So I'm not going to knock them on it, but you don't deserve that. And that's another thing about this whole thing with, like, having a weird power trip over kids, that y'all, a lot of you all, because that's not me, a lot of you all think that having a child and raising a child means that your child owes you something when they get older. Like, they owe you money if they get successful. They owe you, like, a new car. They owe you, like, a new house if they got the money for it. Like, and I'm here to tell you all, raising a child, your child doesn't owe you shit. I'm just here to say that your child don't owe you shit. You were the one who decided to have a child or to keep a child, which Roe v. Wade got overturned. So, like, to you all, I'm so sorry. I'm not talking to you. Like, exclude yourself from this narrative. But to you all who chose to have a child or got pregnant on accident, or the couple got pregnant on accident, created a baby on accident, and y'all decided to just keep the baby. All I have to say really is y'all are weird. And abusive. Whoa. Y'all are weird and abusive. Weird and abusive. Y'all don't like kids. And some of you all do not deserve to have kids. Because you have a weird power trip. You think that you can control this person. And what's worse is when parents try to make their kids become a mini version of them. And I'm here to tell you all that, like, if your kid wants to follow in your footsteps, they'll do that on their own. If your kid truly wants to follow in your footsteps, which for a lot of y'all is not much, but if your kid truly wants to follow in your footsteps, they will do it on their own, or they will ask you for advice to do it. But forcing your child to follow in your footsteps, especially when they don't want to, weird. And I would consider that abuse. I really would. Mental, emotional abuse. And that's something that I think a lot of parents who raised my generation, because I think my generation is more open to like the soft parenting method, which we're going to get into that later, because a lot of y'all think soft parenting means like just not yelling at your kids, and it's like, no, like you're still a parent. Soft parenting, you still command respect when you parent. But anyway, I think a lot of the parents who raise people in my generation and people raise people in the millennium generation, I think they suffer from that, from this weird power trip. And it's crazy because so many kids are going to have just so many mental health problems that could have been avoided had you just been not abusive and not weird. To those people who fantasize on Twitter about beating their kids and who watch videos of children being children and being like, if my child did that, I would beat their ass, I think you're going to hell. I think you need to be investigated, and I think you need to be arrested for child abuse. I will be the first one to say, and I'll say it to your face, bitch. Anyway, like, y'all are crazy. Because I remember in like 2 years ago, there was a video of a grandma and her little toddler, and they were baking a cake or baking cookies or something. And the toddler, because he's a toddler, he's 2 years old, he doesn't know shit yet, he understands the fact that they're making food. He does not understand that eating raw cookie dough can make you extremely sick. And the grandma is cracking eggs into the cookie dough, and he's trying to eat raw eggs, which again can make you really sick. Again, he understands they're making food. He understands that there is food on the table. He does not understand that the food has to be cooked. Because he's 2. He's been on the earth for 2 years. He doesn't know that. And so he keeps trying to reach into the bowl to eat a raw egg. And the grandma, rightfully so, keeps taking his head off the bowl and keeps telling him no, no, no. And it happens like 10 or so times in the video. And he keeps trying to eat eggs, and he's getting upset because he doesn't understand, because he's 2 years old, he does not understand the fact that all that stuff that's in the cookie dough has to be cooked in order for him to be able to eat it and be alive. He doesn't understand that because he's 2. And so many people were in the comments talking about how they would have whipped their child's ass if they did that. Your child doesn't know any better. If your child is under the age of like 8, they don't know any better. They don't know any better, especially if your child is a toddler. Toddlers don't know shit. What seems minuscule and not important to you could be world-ending for a toddler because they've only been on the earth for a few years, if that. And to them, in the experiences that they've had in those 2 years. Them not being able to get a toy in Walmart, them not being able to eat raw cookie dough, them not being able to go jump in the mud is literally the worst thing that's ever happened to them. Because they're kids and they have no experience in actual trauma. So to them, not being able to jump in the mud while they're wearing their church clothes is the literal worst thing that's ever happened to them in their entire life. And of course they're going to cry. Of course they're probably going to throw a tantrum because they are children. They do not understand that. You cannot expect your toddler to think like a grown adult. And I'm not saying that kids are stupid. Kids are not stupid. That's another reason why I think y'all are so abusive, both physically and mentally, emotionally, to children. Y'all believe that kids are dumb. Kids are not dumb. Kids pick up on a lot of things. They are in a state, their brains are sponges. They're not stupid. They're naive. They don't have experience. But children are not stupid. And I believe in that wholeheartedly. Kids are not stupid. But y'all think that kids are... That's very weird, because y'all simultaneously think that your child is dumb because they're a child. And then in the same breath in public, you expect your child to act like a grown adult. When you're telling your child no, some kids are going to be told, no, you can't do this, or no, you can't have this. You're going to tell them once and it's going to click, and that'll be the end of it. Most kids are not like that. Especially babies and toddlers. You are going to have to remind them so many times, and it's going to be annoying. It is going to be hell on earth for you. But that is your fucking job as a parent. That is your job as a parent, to remind them, no, you cannot do this. And not only saying no, explain why. That is one of the most annoying things that's ever happened to me when I was a kid, was being told, no, you can't do this. No, you can't have that. No, with no explanation. And because I said so is not a valid explanation. That's not valid. Because I said so is not a valid explanation. Tell your child why they cannot have the toy. Tell your child why they cannot eat raw cookie dough. Tell your child why they can't go to the campfire and touch the fire. You need to explain to your child why. And that's going to help them understand why they can, what they can and can't do. Is going to help them understand it better. Because they're children. But y'all simultaneously think kids are stupid as hell, but want them to act like grown adults. You're going to have to remind your child, especially when they're really, really young, you're going to have to remind your child all the time. For most of you, you're going to have to do it all the time. And again, it's going to be hell on earth. I know it is. I've seen it. It's going to be hell on earth. It's going to be so exhausting. But that's your job as a parent. Not to just hit them when they're throwing a tantrum in Target, or when they start getting upset, to smack them down to the ground or humiliate them publicly. If you do that shit to your child, I consider you an abuser. I don't care. I think you need to be in prison for child abuse. I don't give a shit. Now let's talk about soft parenting for a bit, because a lot of you dumb fuckers think that soft parenting is just being like, oh, no, you can't eat the raw cookie dough. Oh, no, you can't do that. Ooh, child, my phone is about to die. Okay, I'm back. Got my charger, took a bite of my peanut butter and jelly sandwich, took my Dasani. Again, might die because Dasani. But let's get back into the video. Soft parenting is not just, oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't do that. Oh, you can't have this. Oh no, little Timmy, you can't go touch the fire and then like have your kids still do it. That's not what soft parenting is. Soft parenting is like just not hitting your kids and not emotionally and mentally abusing them. Like there's a literal definition of soft parenting, but like from what I've seen, that's literally what it is. Just not being abusive. and soft parenting relies more on gentle to moderate reminders. And I think people think that when you parent softly, or when you take the soft parent approach, that you're going to let your child walk all over you. And I'm like, no. If you do take the soft parent approach and let your child walk all over you, you're not doing soft parenting right. You're a parent. And as a parent, you should still command respect. But the way you command that respect is different. You don't command that respect by making your child fear you, which that never made sense to me as a kid. Because the same thing happens in Christianity. Oof, child. Now we're talking about religion. But the same thing happened to me as a kid. Where my mom was like, you know, you're not, I'm not supposed to be your friend. You're supposed to fear me. I'm your parent. And I was like, why would I fear you? You're my mother. And there's like scriptures about fearing your parents and like fear. I think it's because it comes from the whole like fear God and everything, which I don't understand that either. Why would I follow a religion where I fear the person I'm worshiping? I don't get that. But anyway, that never made sense to me. Why would I fear you and you're my mom? My mom wasn't a bad mom, by the way. It's just that like some of the things she did when it came to parenting me, I did not like, and I want to be a better parent when I have my own kids. If I can have my own kids. I don't know what the Supreme Court might say. I might have to move to have children. I don't know. Shit. But, I never understood that. Why would I fear you? Why would I want to fear you? You're my parent. And am I the only one that thinks that sounds weird? Am I the only one that thinks that sounds weird? You're supposed to fear me because you're my child. And as your parent, as your caregiver, as the person that I've known my entire life to take care of me, you are supposed to fear me. Which, that's also a problem. Because when your child fears you, and I'm speaking from experience, and I'm speaking from the experience of my friends who have told me this as well. When your child fears you, they start hiding shit from you. When your child fears you, they start... Let me make sure my phone is actually charging. There we go. When your child fears you, they start hiding shit from you. And then, all of a sudden, you're wondering how your child got into a dangerous situation. And it's because they didn't want to tell you shit because they're too scared about how you're going to react. They'd rather be in a dangerous situation than tell you and face the consequences of your reaction. Am I the only one that thinks that's fucked up? I need someone to like... You can't say anything. You're in the comments. In the comments. Am I the only one that thinks that's fucked up? That is so fucked up. When your child fears you, they start hiding shit from you. And when your child fears you, they're going to try and find that parental love that they're not getting at home because you know you want your child to be scared of you. All that parental love that they're not getting at home, they're going to try and find it somewhere else. And unfortunately, for a lot of kids, that means interacting with older people who should not be interacting with minors. Whoa, now your child is in a dangerous situation because they're talking to somebody who knows that your child is a minor. And your child is seeking those people out. And it's not the fault of the child because the child is a minor. That's not the fault of the child. The adult, once they find out that child's age, should be like, no, block. But these kids are going to get into very dangerous situations. That's another reason why the Don't Say Gay bill, this has nothing to do with that, but the Don't Say Gay bill is like annoying because it's like not being able to talk about being gay or being trans or being bisexual or being a lesbian like openly puts LGBTQI plus youth in more danger. I gotta make a video on that because wow, that's so many kids are going to end up killed, raped, molested. Wow. So many kids from that bill. So, but anyway. soft parenting is just making sure your child doesn't fear you. You still command respect. Because you're a parent. You still got to command respect. But you don't command that respect through fear. Because I'm thinking about it, I would want my children to come to me for anything and everything, even if they think it might get them in trouble. I still want my kids to be able to come up to me and be like, hey, this and this and this happened, I need advice. But why would my kid feel safe enough to do that if they think I'm going to hit them, or they think I'm going to yell at them, or they think I'm going to berate them, or they think I'm going to humiliate them to prove a point, or they think that I don't care? What's the point? Or why? Because to a rational adult, you will be like, you still should go to your parent. But they're not a rational adult, they're a teenager. Or they're a child. And something ends up happening and your child is too scared to call you. And I've seen it online so many times where parents come online crying because their child went to somebody else in order to do something important in that child's life and they didn't go to the parent. And my first question is, why would your child not go to you? Why would your child feel more comfortable going to somebody else and not you? Actually, I remember the whole post because this mom came on Twitter crying because her child went to her stepmother in order to get her prom dress. And the mother was pissed because she's like, I'm your biological mom. You should have came to me in order to get your prom dress. But why didn't she? Why didn't your child feel comfortable enough going to you to ask for a prom dress? Come to find out from the child, because the child got on Twitter and aired that bitch out. Come to find out that the child did go to the mom to ask for a prom dress, and the mom wouldn't give her the money. Ooh. The mom wouldn't give her the money, and the mom called her all kinds of things. And somehow you think doing shit like that is going to better your child. I don't understand that. Y'all hate kids. You really, the video should be titled, Y'all Don't Respect Kids. But y'all, to me, I just think you guys hate kids. And I think a lot of you guys have kids in order to pass on your legacy, I guess. Whatever legacy that is. You work at Walmart. Whoops. But to pass on your legacy. And that's the only reason why you have kids. Not even going to get into the whole sexism thing when it comes to like having children. Oh my God, that's a video in and of itself. Oh my goodness. Because a lot of y'all are very misogynistic. Wow. But yeah. Y'all don't respect kids. And y'all don't respect kids enough to give them grace. Y'all don't respect kids enough to give them the time to learn. Y'all don't respect kids enough to give them boundaries. You all just don't respect children. You all just do not respect children. And I'd rather you just admit it than try and go through all these loopholes of like, I put a roof over your head. I gave you food. I gave you clothes. I gave you all this shit that you wanted. You're a parent. That is your job. It is your job as a parent to provide adequate housing for your child. It is your job as a parent to buy food and feed your child. It is your job as a parent to make sure that your child gets the best education that you can afford. And yes, technically speaking, you don't have to get your child the new Xbox game that came out. You don't have to get your child the new gaming setup that is popular among gamers right now. You don't have to get your child those lessons that they want to get for an instrument. You don't have to do that. All that stuff you don't have to do. But you should want to do it. Unless money is an issue, which I understand, you should want to do it because you're a parent. So many of you all just crush your kids' passions because you're jealous. So many of you all crush your kids' passions because you're upset that it wasn't you. Or you end up forcing your child to go into the thing that you failed at in order to make yourself feel like you're successful. Y'all hate children, and that will never sit right with my spirit. The only reason I'm not screaming into the camera is because there are people outside my dormitory. People are walking because it's Friday night. People are like hanging out in people's dorms, and I'm not trying to get a noise complaint. My RA lives across the hall, so like the only reason I'm not screaming at you all is because like I gotta be respectful of my floor. But I really don't know what to say. I know what to say. I don't know what to say. Anyway, I'm gonna go because if I keep rambling on, I'm going to start cussing even more than I already was. Give kids respect. Give them their dignity. Please, if you can't give them anything else, give them their respect, give them their dignity, and give them their boundaries. And don't have your child fear you, because that is a recipe for disaster for both you and your child. I'm begging, if you do not have the mental capacity to not resort to violence when your child does something you don't like, you should not be having kids. I'm so sorry. I'm not sorry. I don't know why I'm apologizing. I'm not sorry about that. If you don't have the mental capacity to not resort to violence with your child, you shouldn't have kids. You should go childless. I don't care. And if your first reaction to your child to something you don't like is violence, I'm saying it to your face, bitch, you're an abuser. And I don't care. You're an abuser. Anyway, I'm gonna go because I'm gonna try and squeeze out another video before my roommate comes back from whatever the fuck he's doing. And then I'm probably going to just edit all night and try and get a video out tomorrow. Today. It's Saturday now. Today. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to comment and share because it helps me grow my channel. To those of you who have been watching my past few videos, to all my new subscribers, thank you so much. Also, thank you guys so much for over 460 views on my Living with Straight Men is Disgusting video. 460 views, like 20 likes, 13 comments. I know that doesn't mean like that's shit compared to like a lot of people on YouTube. That's nothing. But to me, it means a lot. That video got me so many new subscribers, and it got me so many new people. That's the video that has gotten the most engagement. And I want to keep making videos that are entertaining for you guys. Not only because I want to just have you just not have to think about the horrors of the world for 40 minutes, but like, I want to grow my channel. I want to grow a community. And I have some things that are coming up. And I would love to have a community who will support me and get me to a place where I can start giving back. Because I truly appreciate all, I think it's 64, 67 of you guys. Oh my God. I appreciate all 67 of you who are subscribed to my channel. I really, really do. And to everyone who liked and commented that video, I appreciate you guys so much. And everyone who watches my channel, I appreciate you so much. Sappy outro aside, though, I'm going to go because I'm going to drink some more Dasani. Or I'm probably going to go downstairs to the vending machine and get me like some smart water. Ooh. Ding, ding, ding. Okay. I'm going to do that. And I will see you all in 2 minutes. Bye.